Hello everybody and welcome to this MG project. I started the troubleshooting, trying to hotwire the car to see if we can get the engine to start. I admit it was really hard to remove those covers for the ignition switch. We had to use some hammering and some drilling there to get them out, but I did finally. Since I don't have a key, I decided to hotwire it and see if I get it to turn over. This comes in two pieces. Decided to check the fuel line. The fuel filter looked very clean. It didn't seem to have any debris in it, but I still had to remove it and supply some gas in case the engine spins. Hopefully it will spin. It was fairly clean, as I said. I don't know what's going on in the fuel tank. That will be another episode, I think. We'll have to work on that. Clean it really well before I pour any gas in it. So again, hot wiring the car, I needed a couple wires from the ignition. One that goes to the ignition coil, the other one goes to the starter. The one is coming from the battery. These are 3 wires that you need. Since the battery is dead, I had to put a jumper on it. If you guys want to know how to hot wire it, I can make another video, show you guys that, for the purpose of learning only. Has a very little battery actually. One of my riding mowers has a bigger battery. I guess this engine doesn't need that much. It's a 4 cylinders. So I couldn't get the starter to spin by connecting those wires in the ignition only, unfortunately. So here's how I did it. I just connected those alligator clips directly to the starter solenoid. The starter is already grounded to the engine, so I just had to trigger the solenoid since it was not getting the signal no matter what I tried. Okay. So as you heard, I got the starter to spin, which is very, very good news. That means the engine is not seized, which is awesome, which is a good start. However, there seemed to be no life in it. Nothing happened. I think just gonna see if I have any spark. The spark plugs look very clean, dry still, because it's not getting any gas. There was no spark, so I just decided to go ahead and replace the coil, ignition coil, with one from one of my boats. See if I do have spark. no spark, unfortunately. But smart of me, I didn't connect the coil wire coming from the ignition coil to the distributor. Unfortunately, I found out that I didn't, so it seemed to be too far, so I tried to bring that little brass thing out, but oops, broke it. That was not very smart. So had to go back to one of my boats and rub them again. Got an ignition wire from there. That one I'm sure it's working. The new one I'm bringing, I'm sure it's working because the boat was running fine. So this is a good thing about having spare parts laying there in the garage. So let's see if this one will work. Alright, still no spark. Could be the points or the condenser, since this car has been sitting for a very long time. Just try to send them down a little bit before moving them. So when I'm troubleshooting engines, I try to not take things apart unless I really have to. Unless I'm rebuilding the engine completely, of course I have to take everything apart. But I tried to sand them down a little bit with some sandpaper. I tried to sand this cap connectors also in case there is some corrosion, even though I haven't seen really anything since this guy who used the car last. They had some protective lube on all the connectors, which is really smart. Otherwise, everything could have been rusted because of all the humidity and rain and everything, and the heat. Corrosion would be in a happy place. So, yeah, I had to sand those down. Just part of the process to see if I can get some spark. I also decided to use one of the spark plugs that I was sure that it was working, just in case, because you never know. I was trying to eliminate problems one by one. So there's no spark whatsoever. I don't know, I think I will have to replace those points on the condenser and see if I can get some spark. I don't know. We'll try to get the car to the garage because it's getting cold outside. Now we'll get back to you guys. There's like zero spark. There's no spark whatsoever. There's no continuity in this. It's zero, so I don't think that these are good. Just got some from my boat. Hopefully they will work. Let's see if we're gonna have any spark here. Nope. So my battery was dying, so we had to use another car to jump it. I also replaced all those, you see, those coil wires, spark plug wires, but I still couldn't get any spark, unfortunately. And I think it is either the points, the condenser, I don't know, we'll see. Continue troubleshooting and hopefully we'll get some spark. No spark. So I wanted to see if the distributor is getting any power. So I used a test light to see, connected it to the ignition coil, and it seems like the distributor is getting power. It's spinning. The rotor is spinning. I tried to send down the rotor a little bit as well, and it looks sparking clean, but it's still not getting any spark, unfortunately. So I'm sure it's either the condenser or those points. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clean them and see. I still also have to figure out why I can't hotwire the car. So I went ahead and ordered an ignition switch since I need it anyways. We'll see. So this is the starter relay. The coil is cracked. Well, you wouldn't turn over or anything. These are new. These are new except this one. And so I took this starter relay, which I'm gonna try to see if it works. Just gonna bench test it right now. Okay, to bench test this relay, we just need some 12-volt source, and we will jump I think 85 and 86 in this case. If we hear a click, then it is working. If we hear nothing, then it is not. There we go. Make sure they're not touching anything else. Okay, I see a little spark. I feel like it moves really slowly, but I feel like it's trying to move, but it's dead. This is the starter relay. The starter would not get any power to spin if this is not working. I'm just gonna go get a new one and then see how we can do. So no key, dead battery, and the starter relay is dead. I think the expenses are gonna go a little bit high. We will need a starter relay first to see if we can hotwire it, and I will wait for the ignition switch, and then we will see if we can get the car to turn using the key, and then we will look for spark. Thanks.